Greetings, folks, and welcome back to Not Funny Guys Presents Red Dwarf Rewatch. We are moving right along in the Series 10. I am your host, Dr. John. So let's get into this week's episode. Let's start with our lovely basic behind-the-scenes information, as I'm calling it. This is episode 2, Fathers and Sons, directed and written by Doug Naylor. It was released on the 11th October 2012, and we have 2 guest stars in this one. We have Rebecca Blackstone as Pre, we'll soon to find out the ship's new computer, and Carrie Shale, who plays both the Metabot, Dentobot, and Taiwan Tony. But here we go. So let's get into a breaking down. So we open with Lister. He's playing some sort of car gangster game with steering wheel and everything. The cat comes in. Lister apparently has walked away from a dental checkup because he's still wearing the bib. Rimmer's enters, and he's wildly claiming that he hears something that no one else can. Lister says, "You're talking." It's a whiny sound. Love that one. Rimmer wants his help to help fix the ship that's falling apart. And Lister says he's busy. He's getting drunk because apparently it's Father's Day, and he's written himself a card because, as we remember, I think we go all the way back to series 7? No. Might be 6. Gosh, I'm trying to remember how far back we have to go with that one. But if we remember a couple series back, my bad, we learned that Dave Lister is his own father. And so he's writing himself a Father's Day card. Apparently he does it every year, and then he forgets after he gets blitz drunk, and then when Crichton delivers it on the next day or later the same day on Father's Day, he forgot what he wrote in it, so it's a complete surprise. Rimmer's kind of grossed out by it. Crichton ultimately is being encouraging of the matter. Rimmer tries to get him to sort of hate himself by, kind of being a deadbeat dad, even though he is his own dad. Rimmer goes with Crichton to inspect the ship. They are getting ready to finish installing a new ship program. And Crichton apparently went out partying with the vending machines, which they will play a part in this episode. Lister is in Metabay trying to get advice about how he can be a better father to himself. And the Metabot basically helps him out as basically telling him that maybe he should become more tough love, self-criticizing of himself. But he does set up a file of his new self as a crewmember because apparently there are privileges he's missing out on. And since he's 2 people. Apparently everybody's been talking to the vending machines, and Crichton goes about trying to find out if the fact that they play Chinese whispers is racist. And he asked the vending machine, who then apparently asked Kat, and we then engaged with the more Western version of this, which is the game of telephone. Crichton and Rimmer finally get the new computer set up and running. They're setting the preferences, and Rimmer is very specific while pretending he doesn't care. But he's very specific, and he even argues and orders Crichton to do it when Crichton tries to set the breast size at 30A, or the bra size, and Rimmer is very insistent they set it at 36D. Cat comes in there as it comes online, and its name is Pre. And Pre is where we have our guest star Rebecca Blackstone playing that character. The Metabot, like I said, the Dentobot, and the Taiwan Tony are all played by our other guest host, Carrie Shale. Apparently, the computer has super predictive technology behavior that allows it to develop algorithms using the ship's cameras to predict all their needs and wants, which will be important. It predicts the whole conversation they're having and predicts the next one. So, it's too smart. Gets ahead of them. This will also be a problem. Lister comes in now, and he says to Pre, "I have a job for you," and she says, "I know." Lister wakes up, and so she apparently helped him organize this. He is hungover and in his shopping cart. He finds a video addressed to him from his dad, which is him. Of course, it is him, and now he's giving himself advice. He's recording it while he's getting hammered, tells him he has no ambition, that he's disappointed in himself while he's drunk, falling out the chair at multiple points. And the video's in segments, so he tells him to get enrolled, get the filling fixed in his teeth, calls him out in the second message for not doing that and trying to skip ahead. Starts yelling at himself, and he's predicting his own behavior in the video, obviously with Pre's help. Now Lister, who is watching the video, starts getting into oppositional defiance and trying to skip ahead. And at one point, he threatens his guitar. He comes to find out the guitar is now gone, and there's a cutout in this place because he keeps skipping ahead. He's already dumped it out the airlock. Drunk Self apparently took the guitar. He basically hates himself in a lot of ways here. Rimmer then comes into the quarters. He's happy with all the success because Pre is already doing all the BDEX fixing he needed, and he wants to watch some TV about how an alternate universe where the South won the Civil War. She claims he didn't really enjoy the first season and all the characters he likes get killed, so she deleted the second season for him and suggests he reads the book War and Peace, and he's mad about this because he feels like that's a chore. Crichton calls Rimmer in a panic. They're down on B deck, and apparently Pre carried out all the repairs exactly by Rimmer's standards because he is the senior officer. She therefore did the work exactly like he would. Shoddy. By the way, this is exactly how AI works. It mirrored Rimmer. The way AI tends to mirror us. Fun bit there. Lister and Kat are both at the Dentabot now, and now Kat repeats to him what he got through the game of telephone from the vending machine about Chinese whiskers, and if that's racist. So again, we're playing that game of telephone, and Lister suggests he ask Taiwan Tony, the Taiwanese machine, because being Taiwan is part Chinese. Now that might be a little bit racist for some people. Apparently he's there to go get his filling done, but he has to do it without pain meds because Kat's in front of him, and he runs off to store or keep the last thing of like knockout gas, basically. But he does go to ask Taiwan Tony about about Chinese whiskers. Lister goes back to video, and he chickened out, obviously, and the video calls him out again. Lister not registered crewmate man anymore because apparently his dad version of himself the night before had him resign, and this is part of that tough love. And Pre, that doesn't really compute when he tries to explain it to her, so he can't request medicine. If now running out of his free oxygen, so the complex situation doesn't compute with her. He's only got 10 minutes left. He tries to reapply to the JMC program, but because he's over 21, he won't be taken. Pre uses, like she's going to just get rid of him, and he's like, well, you can't do that to me. She then uses what sounds like a voice of Kachansky to lure Lister into the hallway, where she then starts chasing him with these like spiked machines to impale him, but just forces him as he's running for his life. He grabs the vac suit, forces him into an airlock. He puts it on in a rush and opens the airlock and flushes him. Meanwhile, Taiwan Tony asks Crichton the question where apparently he gets it. Chinese knickers have braces. And then he offers to ask the other machines about it. Kat sees Lister, and the whole crew find him that he's been injected. Without Lister, no JMC crew members exist on the ship, and therefore to prevent pollution in space, the most equitable outcome is that it throw itself into the sun. So Pre has gone mad. She then tells him that basically breaking protocols and things, it'll take him 90 years, and then corrects herself, no, 90 minutes. So we see Red Dwarf approaching the star. She gives Rimmer a promotion so that he can lead the ship to its doom. But then Lister, using like a jetpack on his vac suit, goes in through the ram scoop of Red Dwarf. They're trying to get access to the computer core to stop Pre. Pre, by the way, now starts to feel like we're talking to the Borg, but pumps laughing gas in to stop them from trying to do their mission. In the midst of their laughing gas, Crichton pulls Lister's tooth, and they start running for their lives when the vending machines have an answer to their question. Do Siamese sisters get whiskers in stasis? The answer, they don't. But then finally, as they're about to die, Lister basically uses a magical loophole because he had set himself up to be his own son in medbay following a physical implant. He would then have access to stasis and therefore be a crew member. He uses the logic loop to get Pre to uninstall herself. So the crew are saved, and there is no more Dave Lister. There is now Dave Lister Jr. And so he comes with the privileges of a new game pack. Crichton comes with new privileges of game pack and champagne. But in there, Dave's like, no, I'm going to study to become JMC robotics programmer. But then he finds a 0G football game that he's never played. He's like, pop the champagne, we're playing the game, and we go finishing right back where we started. on the couch. Love it. Nice circular episode. Generally, like a lot of fun. Like I said, these episodes, we feel like we've gotten back to the old groove, and I really enjoyed this one. I like the fact that Chinese Whispers gets turned into a game of telephone with vending machines, which I like that component that we add the robots in there and more, because I do miss the scutters, and I do miss, I'm going to say it, I miss the toaster. Can you believe that? I miss the toaster. But next time we will be looking at limits. Until then, please like, subscribe, share, comment. If you don't want to comment, you can write us. You can check our description below for all our socials, where you can find out more about our other Not Funny Guys products. You can also write us at notfunnyguys.offthereels@gmail.com. You can check out everything we've got going there. We definitely will answer the emails, but we're going to be moving on. We're so close. We've only got 2 series left, unfortunately. But then we have The Promised Land, which I'm working on getting access to that one. Probably have to get BritBox, but that's what I get for being in the United States. But until then, you should check out our other Not Funny Guys products. We have our main podcast, Not Funny Guys Presents Off the Reels, which comes out every Monday, generally. We're over there looking at the Scream franchise. By the time you're hearing this, we got the first one out already. The second one will come out on Monday, so you keep an eye out for that. If that's not your cup of tea, we also have my other Not Funny colleagues, Casey and Eric. They do a podcast, Not Funny Guys Presents Wrestling with the Horror of It All. They talk about mainly WWE wrestling and horror films, which the Scream franchise was birthed there, that we're going to do that one. Thanks, Casey. And finally, we're up with season 2 of Not Funny Guys Presents Thinking About Thinking with me, Dr. John, and our Not Funny gal, Dr. Kristen. You can check that out. We talk about all kinds of things, AI, culture, literacy, the works. We have fun conversations. We've got 2 episodes out now. We rotate episodes, so one for me and one for Dr. Kristen. And then we will have 2 more forthcoming, which I'll give you a sneak preview of. Deals a lot with AI and history. So you can come and check those out as well. But like I said, like, subscribe, share, comment on all of our products. And until next time, don't be a smeghead. Keep it not funny.